cheesemonger or fromager at the Cheese Artisans. We're an importer and distributor of European artisan cheeses here in Singapore, as well as a retailer. We have the shop at 18 Greenwood Avenue in Bukit Timah, and also a cheese bar where you can come and dine, have cheese boards, light tapas, bites, breakfast, lunch and dinner. We have probably about 120 cheeses that we carry. Most of the time we offer around about 80 at any one time, as well as importing and distributing the cheese. We like to look after our cheeses properly, so we have our own purpose-built maturing rooms. This is our warmer room. I say warmer room, so this runs around about 9 to 10 degrees. This is where we're finishing the cheeses off. We're carrying 80 to 120 cheeses, so we've got different types of mould developments on the cheeses, so we have to be quite careful about how we manage things. We keep quite a lot of things bagged up, so moulds can't jump around. To talk a little bit about the styles of cheeses that we bring in and what makes us different, I'll start off, and perhaps this explains a little about our maturing rooms, talking about the soft cheeses. We have here Pearl Wet, a little camembert style from Ceredigion in South Wales. Pearl Wet. This has come in just last week. It's still very firm. It's not ready to go. If we were to cut the cheese open, it would have a chalky centre. And it's one of the things you're looking for with soft surface ripened cheeses. So those are cheeses with white rinds like this. When the cheese is cut, it should be unctuous and oozing. It shouldn't have a slightly chalky, dry texture. So this needs probably another 2 to 3 weeks maturation. First of all, when we bring them in, we keep them in a very cool environment. They have quite a traumatic journey, if you like, coming over on the plane, as we all do when we fly for 17 odd hours. So we bring them into essentially a fridge environment where we just bring down the core temperature, let them settle. Then, as we're ready to start releasing them, we'll take them into the warmer side and we'll essentially ripen them on until they're ready. And then finally, we have this little écorce de sapin. So if those of you familiar with vacherin, this is very similar to vacherin but non-seasonal, wrapped with the spruce bark around the cheese. This is really ripe and ready to go. We actually offer these on the menu baked, so we stuff them with garlic and rosemary, a splash of white wine, and bake them in an oven for about 180 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes and serve with sourdough, crostini, but they're a stellar cheese to eat in this condition as well, straight up as a table cheese. We have the various soft cheeses, and we're bringing in from the UK, Italy, France, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Spain and the Netherlands. So it's a really broad European selection, I think broader than any of the other retailers in Singapore. And then when we talk about the style of milks, we have goat's milk, sheep's milk, cow's milk, and also tray latte, so 3 milk cheeses. A good example of that would be Nature. So this is a very, very rich, creamy, to say tray latte from Piedmont in northern Italy. This is what I describe as adult ice cream. It's super rich, creamy, moussey, and you literally just spoon it out of the jar. It's fantastic as it is, but even better if you upgrade with a drizzle of acacia, or even better than that, acacia truffle honey. We also bring in wash-rind cheeses. These are called the Cru, and they are essentially a miniature version of a Poisse. Now with these cheeses, the wash-rind category tends to be much more powerful, stronger, sharper flavours. These are not for the faint-hearted, and we always tend to discuss with our customers when they come in, what we like to do is sample cheeses with them, find out what their flavour profile is like, and then we can direct them. I always think if a customer walks in and asks for brie and cheddar, our job is to take them on a journey and ensure they may walk out with the brie and cheddar, but we really want to sell them 2 other cheeses that are of a similar style and give them a new experience. Now these little Poisse washed rind, very, very, very pungent aroma. These are washed with this one is washed with Marc de Bourgogne, which is a grappa style made from the grape must after wine production. We then move on to the next category, which are our hard cheeses. So the Austrian cheese is called Alpine Gloucester. So you can see the rind of the cheese has been packed with flowers. Now what I love about this is these are all the dried flowers that naturally grow in the Bavarian Alps where the cheeses are produced. So this is exactly what the cows are eating. When they're out in the summer pasture, they're eating the lush green alpine grass and these wild flowers and herbs. So once the cheeses have been aged for around about 6 months, they're washed with a brine and then packed with the wild flowers. So when they arrive with us and we open the boxes, we get this wonderful floral aroma. It's just like walking in the Alps on a beautiful spring day. When we serve this, they supply us with a bag of the flowers. So when we sell it to our customers, well, you can take it home with a bag of the flowers and present it on your board with a kind of nice dash of flowers over the top. And as I say, they add extra flavour to the cheese itself. So we're particularly proud of Krista because we're the only shop, not just in Singapore, but in the world, that is offering Krista. We're very fortunate that the dairy is very small. They don't have room to mature on a lot of cheeses. So the base cheese for this is called Alex, and this is matured for 12 months. We realised that this sort of flavour profile of these aged cheeses, and you can see these little white dots, that's calcium lactate, which is crystallised, which gives you a nutty, crunchy bite to the cheese. That flavour is not just in Singapore, in fact everywhere I've ever sold cheese around the world, this sort of style of cheese is very, very popular. So we asked if they could age some on further for us, and they said they could do maybe only 3 wheels. So they age 3 wheels a month of Krista, and we take all of them, hence we have the cheese exclusively at Cheese Artisans. Then we have a category that's close to my heart. It's a style of cheese, this is called fromager siok, and they are drunken cheeses. Each of the cheeses is packed around the rind with grape must, or some of them are immersed in wine themselves. As a result, you've got an amazing winey aroma. That beautiful flavour comes through, especially as you eat towards the rind of the cheese. I've always wanted for us to do something here that would kind of relate back to the fact that we're here in Singapore. So we may be bringing in European cheeses, but we're a Singaporean cheese company. So with that in mind, I decided that we'd do our own drunken cheese. So we've done this in collaboration with Red Dot Brew House. The cheese itself is actually a German mountain cheese. It's a similar base cheese to the one, Austrian, I beg your pardon. Similar base cheese to the cheese used for Alpine Blossom. So aged for 6 months. What we've done with the cheese is marinated in beer for 30 days. Then we take it out, allow it to dry slightly, and we've packed it in spent grains. So these are the spent grains from beer production up at Red Dot. At the moment we're bagging it. Next week it'll come out of the bag and it'll get wrapped in a bandage. That will allow it to dry a little more as it ages on. We then have another in-house blue, and we're calling this smoky blue. It's the base cheese is Cashel blue, a really creamy Irish blue cheese. And what we've done is we've lightly smoked the cheese with hickory, and then we've packed it with Chinese black tea. The resulting cheese is quite intense. This is very much on the, should we say, experienced blue cheese lovers, as opposed to those new to the realm of blue cheese. As you eat from the centre of the cheese out towards the rind, the middle is still very creamy and fudgy, slightly sweet. As you work your way out, it gets more intense and you start to get those smoky notes coming out, and then the tea just imparts a real elegance on the finish. I always say cheese is a little like my daughter. As much as I love my cheeses and I love my daughter, she doesn't always do what I want her to. Cheese is much the same. We can't always guarantee everything will be right. So my advice to any of our customers coming is actually follow our advice. And that's what we always feel our job is to ensure that whatever you ask for, we've got to choose within that style that's quite ready and good for you to eat that evening.